Hello, we are in the wonderful home of Bill and Claire Keith here in Woodstock, New York, and I'm very pleased and honored to have Bill Keith here to talk about a variety of things, including the way that he developed the melodic style. So, welcome, Bill.
Thank you, Tony.
And how was it that you came to develop the melodic style, which swept the banjo world like wildfire in the early 60s?
Well, there are a couple of tunes that I heard that had pieces in them. One was a tune by Don Stover that he played called Bring Back My Blue-Eyed Boy to Me. And so that was the lick right there, one of them. And the other one was a bit of the banjo signal. And the second part of that was now that's the way I heard it. You could do that in the single string style too, but it just seemed to make more sense to me. And it wasn't long before, and then instead of playing that A there, I played it here so I could go down. And there was just one more note, and I had the scale. And it was about that time that I heard June Hall, a fiddler from Nova Scotia, and she played The Devil's Dream, and it was just hearing the notes, you could tell that fretting just one note on one string here, and you could play the entire first part of the melody with a standard Scruggs lick, thumb, index, thumb, middle.
And what year would this have been when these things were starting to percolate?
Well, you know, I started playing the five-string after some years as a plectrum banjo player, and before that a tenor banjo player, and before that I took piano lessons for a few years. I started playing the five-string in 1957, bought Pete Seeger's book, was early in 58. By that fall, I was into the section on the three-finger style, and that was the yellow edition. He didn't have any expanded tablatures that are in the subsequent editions. And in his book, he says, if you really want to know how to play this style, go get an Earl Scruggs record. So I did, and I'm sure had that record by by 1958 or 9, and set out to learn that. Of course, there was no tablature available, so hey, I made my own, slowed the record down, wrote out the notes I heard in music notation, and then reverse engineered the tablature from there. Mm-hmm. And of course, that's when I got interested in the D-tuners too, and started made a set of cam styles at that point. I think I heard June Hall play The Devil's Dream in 1960, or at least the waning months of 59. Mm-hmm. And that's really when I started digging into the style.
So was she the first person was hearing her play the thing that inspired you, or were you already messing around with that Don Stover lick and the?
I'd already used those, but I hadn't played a tune with it. You know, really, it was the Devil's Dream was the first real tune I played.
Right.
The next one was Sailor's Hornpipe, and I have to admit I was inspired to tackle that particular tune by Billy Fayer's recording of it on an album called The Art of the Five-String Banjo.
Mm-hmm.
He uses a lot of hammer-on and pull-offs, and he's, you know, basically a very different style, but it seemed to me that I could do that in this style too.